3 years after the Maguindanao massacre, it is only now that the public is getting a glimpse of the real extent of the fabled Ampatuan wealth. Based on the freeze order handed down by a Manila court against the Ampatuan Assets, the clan is believed to hold at least 161 land titles, mostly in the name of Andal Ampatuan Sr., Andal Jr., and Zaldi Ampatuan. All in all, the properties amount to a staggering 5 million square meters of real estate, covering Maguindanao, Cotabato City, Davao City, and even upscale Makati City. The properties are equivalent to 500 hectares, or 5 square kilometers. The figure may be a bit difficult for many Filipinos to comprehend, as many Filipinos are lucky to own 40 square meters of land. Of the 5 million square meters, half of this is under the name of Andal Ampatuan Sr. and his wife, Laila. This includes the grand mansion built by Andal Sr. in Huna subdivision, as well as a palace built along the main highway of the capital town of Sharif Aguac, that even has its own mosque inside. In terms of land area, Andal Jr. follows with more than 1 million square meters. Zaldi Ampatuan may have less land area, but he has proven to be more selective in his choices. Zaldi's properties include a large mansion along 1841 Tamarin Road in Dasmariñas Village, Makati, where he is neighbors with many foreign embassies. Zaldi used to stay here when he was in Manila, and his aides would bring documents here for his signature. Zaldi also has a condominium unit on the 21st floor of the Oriental Gardens condominium in the Makati Business District. In Huna subdivision in Davao City, Zaldi owns this mansion, which occupies a block along Calamansi Road. The property is huge and the walls are formidable. The Ampatuan mansions seem to follow a common theme. The walls are usually a shade of pink with intricate stone or tile work, and the guard towers that stand over every corner. In the case of Zaldi's mansion, there is also a closed-circuit camera. The Land Registration Authority says that while there are other corporations or entities that own larger tracts of land, the Ampatuan properties are still unusually large. How does 5.1 million square meters strike you? Is it unusually large?
It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. Kasi divided by 10,000, mga ano siguro, 500 ba? 500 hectares. That's big. That's big.
But is it an unusual number?
Relative eh. Relative sa stature mo eh. There are people who owns more than that. Pero hindi ka magtataka kasi mayaman naman talaga sila. Landed sila even before they were born. Depends, relative siya eh. Depends on the owner. If he has the capacity.
The Manila courts ordered the freezing of these assets in 2011 because of a forfeiture case filed by the government's Anti-Money Laundering Council, or AMLAC. The AMLAC case is based on the lifestyle check conducted by the Ombudsman and a special probe conducted by the Commission on Audit, or the COA. The Audit Commission found some 2.5 billion pesos in anomalous transactions entered into by the autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao, then headed by Governor Zaldi Ampatuan. For its part, the Ombudsman found that most of the properties of the clan were not even listed in the asset declarations that all government officials are required to submit every year. In the last asset statement that Andal Sr. submitted in 2007, he declared a net worth of only 18.5 million pesos, including 5 real properties. His declared annual gross salary was only 600,000 pesos. But the AMLAC found a total of 48 real properties under Andal Sr.'s name. Government now says Andal Sr. undervalued his asset declaration by at least 180 million pesos. As for Zaldi, he only declared 5 real properties in Sharif Aguac and Cotabato City. But the government says he owns at least 18 properties. The lead defense lawyer of the Ampatuan says the government's estimates are way off the mark. In fact, attorney Siegfried Fortun says the Ampatuans no longer have enough cash to sustain the family's needs. Fortun added that Andal Sr.'s wife, Laila, comes from a rich landed family, and most of his properties were acquired even before he joined the government in 1987. But in the AMLAC's list, Andal Sr. only acquired most of his properties after 2001, when he became governor of Maguindanao.
He's always said that he's a farmer by profession. He always said that, you know, I'm good with the soil. It's what I know. That's why he planted corn, he planted rice, he planted coconut.
Datu Ishak Mastura is a former regional trade secretary of the autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao, when Zaldi Ampatuan was still regional governor. Mastura belongs to one of Maguindanao's old royal families, just like the Ampatuans.
But there were also stories about him grabbing lands because, you know, he saw the value in lands. More than anything, because as a farmer, he saw the value of lands. So it was not pure land grabbing in the sense of, you know, just occupy it and say, it's mine. He offered a price that you could not refuse.
May kasamantawa yung you cannot refuse.
So that's how he accumulated some of those land. So now we don't know what will happen to those lands because some of them have been reoccupied by the original owners, but the titles are still in the name of Ampatuan. When he became governor, that, you know, he started really accumulating land. Maybe as mayor he did some, but not to the extent that he did as governor.
So to start, he was a farmer, and then he...
Again, because of capital, I told you, capital seeks a way wherein you can invest it so that it will be preserved. So when he became governor, he had more capital. So the system drove him to accumulate more because that's the capitalist system.
It is not only the Ampatuan clan's economic might that remains formidable, but their political influence as well. 3 years after the Maguindanao massacre, the Ampatuans are back in politics in significant numbers. At least 72 local candidates running in the 2013 elections carry the surname or middle name Ampatuan. Interestingly, most of them are running under the alliance of Vice President Jejemar Binay or under the ruling party of President Benigno Aquino III. At least 34 Ampatuans are running under Binay's coalition, including the wife of Zaldi Ampatuan and the wife of Andal Ampatuan Jr. Also running under the opposition banner is Zahara Ampatuan, wife of Anwar Ampatuan, who is in jail for the massacre, and Ahmad Ampatuan, also in jail for the massacre. Not to be outdone, President Aquino's Liberal Party has endorsed 9 Ampatuans, including Andal Ampatuan Sr.'s half-brother, Sarip Ampatuan. The 9 are running with Liberal Party gubernatorial bet Esmael Mangudadatu, who lost his wife and sister in the massacre. Mangudadatu says he has no problems having Ampatuans in his slate, saying they do not subscribe to the patriarch's brand of politics. With all this, it becomes clear that the Ampatuans retain formidable economic and political clout, not just in the local level, but in the national arena as well. This raises some sticky questions. What would all of this mean for the future of the massacre case? The plight of the families of the victims, the future of the frozen assets, and the future of the people of Maguindanao.
He lost touch with the interest of the common man when he actually came from poverty himself. No, he rose up the ranks. He was also a farmer. He tilled the soil. So he should have understood right away what it meant to be downtrodden.
If there is nothing, no account, no property that could be seized in order to satisfy damages awarded by the court, this is on the assumption that we get those convictions that we want, then it's just an empty victory. It's a victory on paper but cannot be executed. Walang bayaran.